Moments in life when heaven seems silent. You pray, you fast, you cry out to God, yet nothing changes. The doors remain closed, the opportunities slip away, and your dreams feel like they are crumbling into dust. You wonder, has God forgotten me? Am I being punished? Will my promise ever come to pass? But what if I told you that the delays you are facing are not denials? What if I told you that behind the waiting there is a divine strategy unfolding, one that is far greater than anything you could imagine? Do not mistake silence for absence. Do not mistake waiting for rejection. What God is orchestrating in your life is beyond what you can see right now. Stay with me. This message is for you. When God allows a delay in your life, it is not because He has abandoned you. It is not because He has changed His mind about your destiny. The enemy wants you to believe that if something is taking longer than expected, it means God has rejected you. But that is a lie. The truth is that God's timing is perfect. And every delay is preparing you for something greater than you can comprehend. If God gave you everything you asked for immediately, you would not be able to handle it. There are blessings that require growth, character, and wisdom before they can be entrusted to you. A delay does not mean God has forgotten you. It means He is working on something you cannot yet see. Think about Joseph. He had a dream as a young man, a vision from God that he would be placed in a position of great authority. But instead of walking straight into his destiny, he was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned. Imagine how he must have felt during those years of suffering. It would have been easy for him to believe that God had abandoned him. Yet in the midst of his suffering, God was working. What looked like a series of painful delays was actually a divine process of preparation. By the time Joseph was elevated to the highest position in Egypt, he was not only ready for the role, but he was also positioned in the perfect place to fulfill his destiny and save a nation. If God had taken him straight from the dream to the palace, he would not have had the wisdom, humility, or strength to handle it. Delays are not punishments, they are platforms for preparation. When God takes His time, it is because He is shaping something inside you that will sustain the blessing He is bringing your way. Many people abort their destiny because they cannot endure the waiting process. They rush ahead of God, trying to make things happen on their own, only to realize later that they were not ready. But those who trust in the Lord, those who wait upon Him, will always see His faithfulness manifest in ways they never expected. Abraham was given a promise, a word from God that he would become the father of many nations. Yet year after year passed with no child in sight. He and Sarah grew older, and the natural possibility of having children faded. They could have given up. They could have declared that God had denied them. But God was not late. He was not absent. He was waiting for the perfect time to reveal His glory. And when Isaac was finally born, it was not through human ability, but by divine intervention. The delay was necessary to prove that the promise was not the work of man, but the fulfillment of God's perfect plan. If you are in a season of waiting, you must understand that your faith is being tested. The enemy wants you to lose hope. He wants you to walk away from God's promise. He wants you to believe that nothing will change and that you are wasting your time believing in something that will never happen. But God is watching your response. Will you trust Him even when you cannot see what He is doing? Will you keep believing even when the situation looks impossible? It is in the waiting that your faith is proven. It is in the waiting that your character is shaped. David was anointed king as a young man, but he did not take the throne immediately. Instead, he spent years running from Saul, hiding in caves and facing battles that tested his endurance. Why would God anoint him king, but then allow him to endure so much hardship before taking his rightful place? Because there was a process. David needed to be refined, to be trained, to be humbled before stepping into his destiny. If he had become king too soon, he would not have been the leader that God intended him to be. But when the time came, David was not only ready, he was unstoppable. When God allows a delay, it is because he is building something inside you. He is making you stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. The enemy may try to convince you that you are stuck, that nothing is happening, but do not listen to the lies. Even when it feels like nothing is moving, God is at work behind the scenes. Just as a seed must remain underground before it breaks through the soil, your breakthrough is being developed in the unseen realm. You may not see it yet, but when the time is right, it will manifest. Some of you have been praying for a breakthrough in your finances, but nothing has changed. You have been asking God to open doors, but every door remains shut. You have been believing for healing, but the sickness is still there. Do not mistake the delay for denial. God is setting things in motion that you cannot yet perceive. He is aligning people, circumstances, and divine appointments